We tried to get a record deal. We wanted to make it big. We wanted to play the garden. We wanted the girls. We wanted the groupies. We wanted the limousines. We almost got there. I could say we were almost famous.
What happened?
In 1962, my dad took me and my brother for a ride in his Hudson. And my brother turns around and says to me, you know, pal, there's a group called the Beatles. They're from England. They're really, really cool. They're going to be on TV. We both said to our father, quick, you know, get home. It was like 5 to 8 or 10 to 8. Got home. Ed Sullivan introduced them. They came on first. And that was it. We wanted to start a band. We started learning how to play. We didn't know how to read, so we did it by ear. And we started rehearsing in my grandma's basement.
Where did it lead to out of the basement?
More basement. And then we started calling up clubs and trying to get gigs in clubs. October 1974, the very first club we played ever. Full price agreed upon, $100 flat on completion of engagement. That was a bargain, $100. You worked on your stage presence. You didn't really matter if you made that many mistakes or not, because there wasn't any more than 15, 20, 30 people in the entire bar. Eventually, you know, people started coming to hear us.
It was one of those things where the deli man had a daughter who was a friend with the band, so I took the cassette home and listened to it. And it was really good. It's a band that's been playing virtually all places in the tri-state area for the last 3 years, including the Rising Sun in Yonkers. A band I think you'll like. Let's hear them now. They're called Mercy.
Me and Mel started all the bands. They evolved. One singer to another singer.
I'd like to introduce the members of the band. First we have Steve, the drummer.
The biggest prima donnas have to be drummers and singers.
And next to him is Mel, who plays guitar. And then we have Lou, bass guitarist. And Richie over here, guitar.
We changed them 10 years easy until we found guys that we got along together with, that thought along the same lines that we did.
How long have you been together? About 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, no, well, what happens is that we keep adding members, you know, we've added members back and forth, but this present lineup goes back about 5 months. And it won't last very long.
It was the same band. Me and my brother were the nucleus. We were the band. We were the songwriters. We were the guys who put everything together. So the band really never changed, except for different personnel. Every song that my brother and I wrote, we wrote from the heart about something that really happened to us.
The only thing we write about is girls. That's it. I mean, I analyzed it today. I thought every song is like women. And that's there's nothing wrong with it. Well, that could be from somebody's point of view that's listening. I mean, the way I write songs is basically like a totally personal experience. Mm-hmm. The things that I write are not like fabricated. They're things that have actually happened. You know, the way that, you know, I feel at the moment. But it's not a fabricated thing.
I think your uncle was my favorite songwriter to this day. Lyrically, nobody beat him. Emotionally, nobody touched him. Were there better guitar players than he? Absolutely. Were there better bass players than me? Absolutely. But he and I put in so much emotion into what we wrote and how we played it, there was something behind the story that we wrote. The record companies were picking up bands, but it got to a point where they were being very selective in who they were going to get. Where's the hit, boys? Where's the hit? I remember my brother telling somebody, well, if I knew what the hit was, I'd be a manager instead of playing in a band.
Describe the music, it's very commercial rock. How would you describe it?
Not commercial. Definitely not. Otherwise, we'd have a deal.
Well, it's only a matter of time, right?
Hopefully. I'd say so, yeah.
And that's Mercy, and their great song, Any Other Girl.
I call this my music room. This is where I get away from my wife and sit down. I don't want her to hear that. No, she's good. This is an old bandana signed by Led Zeppelin. Another signed album from Jeff Beck, signed autograph by Ronnie Wood, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Whitney Houston, Keith Richards. I met John and Yoko, and he signed a Marlboro pack of cigarettes for me. I used to smoke then. I don't anymore. Everything else is just memorabilia that my brother collected, and other photos of various forms of the band, from beginning to end. And that's pretty much it. This is my room. I call it the Fool's Hall of Fame. Yep, Jesse. We've all gotten a little bit older, right? We've all gotten older. Like old guitars. We never lose our value. Dear pal, thanks for your help. Thanks for your shoulders. Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas and play in good health. You put me a Kramer bass. 1980, still struggling, still fighting, still sticking it out together. We got picked up by Swan Song Records, which was Led Zeppelin's label, and we were being represented by their lawyer. And as it were, he had arranged an audition for the really big people. A couple of guys from Warner Brothers and from Atlantic that came to see us do a showcase in a studio in Manhattan called SIR. Our guitar player didn't show up. Richie wasn't around. We thought maybe he got caught in traffic or something. We finally got a phone call, and I said, "Oh, it's Richie. Okay." Our manager picks it up. Blah blah blah. What's going on? When you gonna be here? Comes back and says, "Boys, it's done. It's finished." Richie just called me from California. He joined a new band called Bon Jovi. And that was it. That was the nail, the final nail in the coffin. Having our manager tell all these real serious music people, "I'm sorry, gentlemen, that we took up your time, but there's going to be no showcase today." You can't ruin it for yourself more than that. That was it. That was it for me. That was it. I had to stop then. It wasn't worth it anymore. And it hurt. The band split up, went back to work as a busboy, went back to work as part-time bartender.
But Uncle Mel stayed in music, right?
Right. He didn't want to be that far away from something that he really loved. And even though he did backstage work, even though he did backline work, like they call it, even though he wasn't playing, he felt that he was still in the music scene. He still wanted to be where music was. That's where his heart was. That's where all of our hearts were, but he just couldn't break away from it. He didn't want to do or think of doing anything else than that. And that's That ended up being his demise too. He saw how everybody else around him was successful. You know, he worked on guitars for the Grateful Dead. He worked for Hall & Oates. He worked for Carly Simon. He worked for all these people. And he got into a really bad depression. And that slowly started sinking in and eating away at him until eventually he just passed away. I don't know if it was from...
Do you think it was music that killed your brother?
I think it played a big role, yeah. I think it did. I think as much as he loved music, it was his poison pill. I hated him for dying. I was pissed off at him for going away. All I had was him, my creative second half, my collaborator, my go-to. I was very pissed off that he decided to go. To this day, you see me, I get a memory of him and I start shedding a tear. You know, it's not easy.
Arrived.
They put some trees up, thank goodness, they made it look nice. Hey, pal. I knew how pained he was that no one was going to hear his music. So what I did was I made sure that I could get his music out to as many people that could hear it. It was a pretty difficult task trying to put it together. I was saying, come on, pal, help me out here, man, and I'll do you right by putting this album out. And that's what I did. I did it for him. I did it for us. I did it not for the money. I did it just because the songs had to be out there. For someone to hear how talented he was and how depressed he was and how hurt he was by what could have been but never was. Your uncle and I put everything we had into writing, everything we had into music, everything that we had to become successful. Everything. And that's what we have as a product. The songs are us. My 15 minutes of fame came and now is gone. You know, it wasn't in the stars for me. I had a great time. I had my real big ups and I had my real big downs. And that's what it is with music. Real big highs and real lows. And I did it. And I won't do it again. I've grown up. I've grown up. Oh, it was great. It's just one big facade. Because at the end, you go back to your hotel and you're still alone. I come home and I got you. I got your brother. I got your mother. I got my house. This is where my heart is. I have no regrets. Very few. Everything that I want him to know, he knows. I did the Borneo album as a means of having people hear what he had to say, and I did it for him.
I'm gonna leave you a tape that we did, pal. Okay? The best of Louie and Mel. This is what it looks like. Where can I put this? Right here. Looks good. Yep, here you go, pal. Me and you. We waited a lifetime to do it, never did. Had a chance to. Here you go. Pals forever, the best of friends.